What's up, fam, and welcome back to the table for another helping of the Dish Served Cold. I am your sister from another Mr. Misperception, and I'm happy that you are here to partake in the dish with me. So, I'm not one that watches a whole lot of TV anymore. I'm more of a reader, and I like to, look up things on the internet. But if I do watch TV, it's usually only a select few shows and game shows. So when I was on YouTube recently, I came across Jimmy Kimmel's monologue from July 12th entitled Trump versus Twitter. So I figured I'd catch up on what our wonderful president was up to these days. And to my surprise, Kimmel started talking about a Mississippi Gubernatorial Candidate named Robert Foster who refused to let a female journalist shadow him on the campaign trail without a male companion. Well, my first reaction was, wow, that's really smart, considering #MeToo. And, I just assumed that Kimmel would make that exact point, considering he's a man. But guys, I should have known better, because Kimmel proceeded with the story and proceeded to mock Foster the entire time for making that decision. So I'm going to let you hear this clip, and then we'll assess it.
There's a guy named Robert Foster. He's running for governor in Mississippi. He's in the news today because he refused to do an interview with a female reporter unless they were accompanied by a male colleague. That's called pulling a Pence, okay? The reporter wanted to shadow the candidate on the campaign trail, which would have involved her riding alone with him in his truck, but he was not okay with that. He was on CNN today with the reporter where he attempted to explain this.
I didn't want to end up in a situation where me and Ms. Campbell were alone for an extended period of time throughout that 15 to 16-hour day. And so out of precaution, I wanted to have her bring someone with her, a male colleague. And it's the other thing that I think is important to point out is that this is my truck, and in my truck, we go by my rules.
Okay.
And that's my rule.
That's right. In my truck, we go by my rules. And if that truck's a rockin', don't come a knocking, because that's... What a weirdo. I mean, that's weird. And it got weirder.
Look at, our current Governor Bryant's staff. One of his top attorneys, one of his top policy directors, those are all women. How are you going to do that if you can't be alone with a woman?
It's very simple. You always can have the door open and have people right in the room next door. But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about a 15 to 16-hour vehicle ride in my truck.
And yeah, that's right. And that's his truck. And they go by his rules in his truck. I don't know about you, but I don't think anyone who needs a chaperone to sit next to a woman should be the governor of a state. But he says he made a vow with his wife and that neither of them would ever be alone with a member of the opposite sex. And he sticks to that. Sometimes it takes him an hour to be able to get on an elevator. It's really difficult, but... And the more he tried to explain it, the more ridiculous his argument got.
Representative, what do you think would happen if you were alone in a room with Larison? She seems to be a professional reporter who asks questions. What do you think happens?
Nothing, and that's what I just stated. You can have the door open and have people in the room next door, and so that there's nothing there, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about riding in my truck for a 15 to 16-hour day.
What happens in your truck that's different than a room with an open door?
It's just a perception, and that's a rule that I've always had and I've always followed. It's a very professional rule that many other people, including Billy Graham and Governor Mike Pence, have followed.
That's right, and if it's good enough for a man who calls his wife mother, it's good enough for him. I think that's what you want in a governor, right? Someone who isn't allowed to meet with half the population of your state. By the way, this is Robert Foster. You can see why women lose control around him. The one look at that crooked bowl cut, and I dare you not to fall in love with him. The good news for Foster and other men like him who have a hard time resisting the temptations of the flesh is that help is on the way.
Are you a man with conservative values who can't trust himself around mouth-watering female women?
Going down?
I'll take the next one. I'd love to work with women, but on the other hand, what if penis?
What if penis indeed? Now there's help.
Wow! Now no one can force me to commit adultery.
The Chastity Belt. With Chastity Belt, you can now enjoy a normal, healthy working relationship with human women. Go go out on the town, command the Space Force, even run for office.
Quick word. Ooh.
You bet.
Chastity he belt.
My truck, my rules.
Available at Walgreens.
So Foster started by saying that he didn't want to be in a situation where he and the female was alone for an extended period of time, and he wanted her to bring a male colleague. And he said that's his truck, his rules. So Kimmel then called him a weirdo and said it's weird. But why is that weird? Why is he a weirdo? Because that is what he feels is a part of being professional. You may not agree with his definition of professionalism, but that doesn't make him weird. Are y'all weird because he disagrees with all of y'all? Okay, so then the female journalist asks him what he's going to do if he can't be alone in a room with a woman. And he clearly answers, the door will be open, other people will be present. And then he gets them back to the point, which is the fact that it's a 15 to 16 hour ride in his truck, just the two of them. Well, you know what? That still wasn't good enough. So Kimmel says he doesn't think that anyone who needs a chaperone to sit with a woman should be a governor, and mocks the vow between Foster and his wife that neither of them are alone with the opposite sex. He jokes that it sometimes takes him an hour to get on the elevator. First of all, that's exactly the kind of governor Mississippi and many other states in this country need. Someone with integrity, someone who's loyal, who's responsible, who's professional, who uses discretion, and apparently has some sort of morals and values. How does the fact that he doesn't want to be put in a position where he could possibly cheat, or more than likely, possibly be Me Too'd, how does that make him unqualified to be a governor? And the elevator joke was stupid because he's not talking about a 15-second elevator ride. He's talking about a 15-hour drive in a vehicle. And he keeps trying to reiterate that fact, but they just keep trying to minimize it so it will fit their narrative. So then, the male newscaster from CNN asked Foster what he thought would happen if he was alone with the woman, and he said nothing. He said because it ain't gonna happen. So when he asks what would be different in his truck than a room with an open door, to everyone's amusement, and I might add, it was kind of funny, he answered that he's professional, and many other professional men, like the late Reverend Billy Graham and Vice President Pence, do the same thing. So they go on to pick on his looks, which don't really matter because he's married, so somebody likes it. And all some women really have to hear these days is that he's a politician. He's likely to have some fame, some power, some money, or he can advance their political careers. That's all they need to hear. They don't care how he looks. And Kimmel finally finished by showing a skit mocking Foster and quotes men like him who have a hard time resisting the temptations of flesh, end quote. Well, he doesn't have a hard time because he tries to prevent himself from getting into those situations. I don't think that's Foster's problem anyway. You can't lump him in with all the other men who really have a problem resisting temptation. His reasoning is simple. #MeToo. He has enough sense to know that you are not about to try to get him caught up in the Me Too movement. Forget a pretty journalist. He's trying to be a governor. We've seen scandal. We remember Bill and Monica. Now, Robert Foster said, not me. And he's not leaving any room for misinterpretations either. If you want to shadow him, then you have to abide by his terms. If not, keep it moving. But why is this a big deal? Because he's not catering to that woman and or falling for the okie doke. That's why they are making this a big deal. This Me Too movement is the main reason for what he did. A phrase that was first used in 2006 by Tarana Burke, a survivor of sexual assault who wanted to do something to help women and girls of color who had also survived sexual violence, has taken on a totally outrageously humongous life of its own. and has really deviated from its original purpose to realign with the feminist movement. In October 2017, actress Ashley Judd accused media mogul Harvey Weinstein of sexual assault. Actress Alyssa Milano reignited the phrase Me Too with a tweet, "If you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too," as a reply to this tweet. And it quickly turned into a movement, starting a domino effect where hundreds of women and even some men, i.e. Terry Crews, began to come out with their own Me Too stories, accusing famous producers, actors, entertainers, and more of all kinds of different types of sexual assault. Countless men have gone down now because of hashtag Me Too: Bill Cosby, Matt Lauer, Harvey Weinstein, Les Moonves, R. Kelly, Chef Mario Batali, Kevin Spacey, and the U.S. Olympic gymnast team doctor Larry Nassar, to name a few. Careers and legacies have been ruined, marriages ruined, family torn apart, prison time, and more. And it hasn't stopped. As recently as June 18th, Cuba Gooding Jr. was accused of sexual assault by a woman who said she was molested by him in 2012 when she was a teenager. He had just surrendered to the police the week before after being accused of groping a woman at a bar in New York. He denies both allegations, by the way. Just recently this week, AJ Calloway, formerly of BET's 106 in Park and Extra, he was just let go from Extra after the investigation into his sexual misconduct allegations. So can you really blame Robert Foster for saying no to that situation? No, I don't. So from now on, to avoid all this unnecessary drama, in my opinion, I would tell him to go ahead and hire an assistant, or heck, if you want to call him a chaperone, who's a male who will always accompany him when he's on the campaign trail. You know, maybe just call him your security guard on paper. Mr. Foster could also make it a practice to record all of his meetings and to only meet in public places. You know, just some suggestions. But you keep doing you, Robert Foster, and keep ensuring that you do not become another victim of hashtag Me Too. Oh, and by the way, somebody else who says not me too is Mr. Steve Harvey. This mug had me cracking up. Check this out from Celebrity Family Feud, July 14th episode. Yes, I know that's right, Steve. Well, all right, fam, that is it. Thank you so much for partaking in this with me today on men taking a stand and saying, not me. I hope that more men will smarten up and start setting some standards so when men do things like Robert Foster, it won't be considered weird and amusing to some. So anyway, fam, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves and we'll come back soon for another helping of the Dish Serve Code. Please like, share, and join the family by clicking the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at dish_servecode. Hit me up by email at misperception.dish@gmail.com with questions or comments. And please, before you go, drop a comment below and tell me what you think about Robert Foster's decision to not ride with that female journalist or just the Me Too movement in general. Let me know. But when you leave a comment, please be respectful. As I say, it's cool to agree to disagree, but keep the disrespect to yourself. All right, fam, so until we meet again, I am your sis, Misperception. Love and peace.